Protocols in science. So these are the ones that you can hang your hat on no matter what. What are the most common and successful? And you'll see my little caveat for what we've done based on experiences. Loading phase. First 4 to 7 days. So you'll look at studies. Sometimes they do it for 4 days, 5 days, 6 days, 7 days. I haven't seen it longer than 7 days. 20 grams a day. Now, I'm putting everything in, if you look in studies, everything's done by, kilograms and so forth. So I put everything in pounds for you to make it easier. Or 0.14 grams, okay, per pound of creatine monohydrate per pound per day. Split 4 to 5 times a day. So it's just easy to say 20 grams, but if you wanted to find out what the actual number is, I actually posted the number by weight. Because if you're a 400-pound world's strongest man, and many of you know we work with those people, that number is going to be higher. So we actually do everything when we work with athletes by pound, so I included it in here for many of you. But this is going to handle pretty much anybody to 20 grams. Maintenance phase, of 3 to 5 grams a day, or again, 0.014. Now, here's where I challenge that number. I don't like the 0.014. That's very low. If you look, it can be as down for a 150-pound person. It can be as low as, 2.8 grams or something, which, it gets close enough, falls in there. But we recommend 0.04. So that's going to get someone up, significantly different number. That's going to get them up around 10 grams. And you'll see that's what our recommendation is for the average weight person, or 200 pounds, gets you close to 10 grams as a maintenance dose. And that's what we much prefer. And then you've really covered all your bases. Whether you're using it all or not isn't the issue. You're going to at least be covering all your bases. I think it's too low when I look at all the studies, the 0.014. But that just happens to be what's out there today. Other protocols, and you've seen this, a single dose of 3 to 6 grams. But possibly, but again, the problem, it takes too long to get to the ergogen effect if you're working with athletes that are looking for it quick. But it does get there, 3 to 6. Now, here's another one that's pretty simple. I always like to make things simple for people. So if I'm in an elevator and someone's asking me this, I'll say 1 gram for every 20 pounds of body weight, and you're out of the elevator. That's all the time I have. So it makes it a little bit easier. And that actually works. It comes out to a pretty good number, obviously. If you're 200 pounds, that's 10 grams. And that's going to solve the issue for you, whether you're doing it slowly or whether you're doing it fast. So you all know what control release is. There were a couple of studies on this showing that if you took your 20 gram during the loading phase, in 30-minute intervals, which would be one pain in the ass, that's for sure, for 5 days, it did show an increase of 13% of creatine retention, which is a pretty big number all the way around when compared to the standard, which is 3-hour intervals, so the 4 to 5 grams a day, 4 times 5 grams a day, normal. 5-day loading. So again, it's just analogous to controlled release. I always say the same thing like a multivitamin. I'd love to be able to take a multivitamin and cut it up into, 24 pieces, and every hour drop one in, because then that's the best control release there is, and of course, not practical or realistic. But that would be the ideal way to let the cells take it rather than kind of waste it as too much is coming in at one time. So here's what the evidence-based protocols that are in science, if you had to, tell someone these are what the numbers are. The only difference we have, of course, is that recommendation we have. But in all cases, creatine supplementation should be with carbohydrate and/or fast-acting protein for maximum uptake. So we did think it had to be only carbohydrate, but anything that triggers insulin, and I cited the study here, pretty much is going to help improve. And protein can do that, as you know. Many amino acids can trigger an insulin release. Will drive more creatine into the cells. So in all cases, make sure that you do that. So there's your dosing protocols.